So today we'll be eating Franco Manca, some pizza, like a little something, and we're gonna talk about our topic. So the question of the day is club culture dying? Let's get into it.
Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Still not
between clubbing culture now and clubbing culture then is I think our generation, like Gen Z, I think we are a little bit overly obsessed with identity. And what I mean by that is every single person has about 20 ways to identify themselves.
Yeah.
Like back then, your name was Timoshe.
Yeah.
Today, someone now needs to be a black, queer, neurodivergent, they, them, X, Z, Y, D. Sorry, no. Everyone wants to be so niche. Everyone wants to be so niche and so specific. And it's not necessarily a bad thing because community is important.
Individualism has gone so far.
But I think in the West, we are so individualistic to the point where you want to listen to Afrobeats, you want to listen to X, you want to listen to Y. So how can you have a club where everyone's
you want to post a space that no one else can find? You want to post a space that is just exclusive to you, a space that's just for you, or a space that, and it's like club culture actually survives on unity and everyone wanting to do the same thing. That song, throwing up on a Tuesday, like bro, no, on a Tuesday I'm doing this. On a Tuesday I'm in my Pilates. Oh, I have my running club. Oh my gosh, I have my badminton society. Nobody wants to be grouped to do what everyone's doing.
I agree with you guys wholeheartedly, but then this is just because you said running club, I disagree. I just think people just want to be in communities where it's like they grow. Because running club, no one cares about X, neurodivergent, black.
No, but it's that same urge to be different.
Personally, I also think that all this club culture decline has a lot to do with the fact that society as a whole and our generation, we're having a real cultural shift into conservatism. We've seen it with Trump getting elected. We've seen it with all these trad wives making a comeback.
Modesty, clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah, it's really in to be traditional and conservative. And that's quite literally the epitome of spending 30k in a club with strippers. What?
It's their outlet. Guys can't afford the club anymore. The Bernice Burgos era is done.
I think you're right with the whole wellness thing, and it's like Pilates Princess, all these trends on TikTok. The thing is, it's all jokes. But it does reflect society.
And I know you guys have already talked about weight on this podcast, but so in terms it was trends like Ozempic and what body style is in. When everybody had money, being bigger was again a trend and everything, because being thick. But now, because having money and having health is actually a scarcity. Being slim is another sign of you still got it. Because now it's easy to be fat in this economy. You can afford it. You can afford
Pilates.
You can afford all of that.
Yeah.
Before, you had enough money to be eating out all the time, enough money to spend in the club.
Maybe
literally.
The people who eat on cheatday.diaries, we have money in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yeah, I heard it. It's just a change in how people, what is defined as lit or what is defined as the attain, what people see as fun and everything. That's why you were saying the new 20s are the new 30s. Why? Because being reckless and fun and stuff is not in anymore. Now being settled is fun. Being secure is
people want to run their 20s now.
The flex for men is my girl's bills are paid for. Even though that was the flex before privately, but now that's all they flex. They can't flex in the club for multiple women anymore.
Do you know what? Another thing I also feel like men especially, I think without realising it, the patriarchy does dictate culture. And when the guys are not at the clubs,
to spend 2k at clubs.
Yeah, the bill insert. But I genuinely do think the moment that men have to spend the moment
women have to
men a lot to the point where it's detrimental, and
but the club already cost men bears. That was the whole point. They were spending it. They were spending 30k before.
Yeah, but now it's not worth it.
That in their 20s they're trying to grind. So why are they going to want to spend that money?
It's not worth it anymore. Before it was worth it. It was worth it to spend 30k on a random girl you don't know.
I think they were still trying to grind in the 20s back then. It's just that for them, the reward of that grind was to splash it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was worth it. But now that's not worth it.
Now, like she said, you want to look after your girl.
Yeah.
You'd rather be like, oh my gosh, my home in Surrey is patterned. But before, you wanted that bottle picture on your Instagram.
Yeah. Right. Red bottoms in the 80s.
Red bottoms, plug extension cord.
Bottoms were red, anywhere.
Subculture for me, I think club culture for me has died. I also like, I don't know, my also perspective was also been in a relationship. It's just like not that fun anymore. Yeah, I'm wife, guys, so
Not me. This is just for fun though.
yeah. But at the same time, I also have noticed even my friends who are single, like they're not also going to look for their man in a club. Like
People used to find their husbands and wives in the club.
And that's looking a problem.
No, because the club was not what it was like now.
Everybody went to the club.
Yeah, now
You
it's
didn't have to-
thirsty.
yeah.
You know, like for example, it hits 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It's
Yeah.
judgment time.
Yeah.
Guys are looking for
Yeah.
grab wine.
Yeah. The club
Before,
was
there
just a
kind
place
of
to have
connection
fun.
thing.
Yeah.
And this is the thing with music as well. There was more of a connection. Now you already know that you want to hear last in the club. You're not going there to get put on a song. You're not going on there to make a connection with your music. Do you know what I mean?
The DJs are getting bullied.
The DJs getting put. You're putting up. Can you play Ozeba? Like the DJ does not want to play that. The DJ wants to play Charlie XCX Brat.
Right.
The DJ wants to put you on,
and you're not letting yourself.
but you'll stone him.
Yeah, so I do think like there's no.
It becomes repetitive.
There's no connection
yeah,
that's being made in the club.
The club is no longer serving a purpose.
Yeah, it's not because it was a place.
It used to serve purpose.
Yeah, where people connect with
now
each
it
other.
feels like a wasteland. And now the people that are genuinely, like we said before, it sounds crazy to want to find your partner in the club. But now the people going clubbing religiously genuinely have an in-depth relationship or want to be in the club.
Where do you meet friends then as you get older? I know that sounds dumb, but like people used to do it in the club.
Probably yoga.
But you know that's true. And do you not think that says a lot about the economy?
It does.
But then at the same time, in one breath we're saying, oh, people don't have money. Yoga and that lot is...
That's what I tried to say before. It's not an issue about lack of. It's about where priorities are and what you deem as being worth your money. It's not really about the amount. It's about where you want to put that amount.
Okay, one can argue holidays then. Because people are fine to go club on holiday.
Wait, what?
People love to club on holiday.
Oh, okay.
That brings to my point of why, again, not to promote that place I went to, but the reason why lounges are booming is because of that liminal space of not feeling at home. If you're clubbing in your local club, you're like, wow, after this club, like we said, I have to now go home. I have to now pay my bill. It's all hitting you. It's like, why am I in this space? But when you're abroad, it's like, it's that liminal space of something different. The same with a lounge. It's like, cool, I'm not in a club, but I'm just in a chill place catching a vibe. It feels worth it. It's a new place, it's excitement, it's escapism. The club now is not what it used to be. So now when you go there, it just feels like, why am I here? Why am I wasting money on this? And then now to why Pilates and all these things are happening, it's like, cool, I'm wasting money, but it's on wellness. And again, being healthy in this society is not cheap. Yeah. It shows a luxury and wealth to have money. So that's why you already have luxury to travel. So now that I'm there, might as well club. Because it doesn't feel real.
Do you not think it's crazy that our age range is saying this though?
It's crazy.
We're so young, and we're like, we want to get secured and get married.
But escapism is what's selling nowadays. Because reality is harsh in this economy. Escapism is what's selling. That idea of creating that peaceful life, and it's like, cool.
We're not young and lit in the sense of we're not every weekend outside.
We're not.
Like and I think I do think it is quite sad, actually, to be honest, because religious reasons put that aside or whatever reason, I do think like. Is there going to be a thing where a lot of people in their 20s now are going to look back in their 30s and think, oh, I wish I did this. I settled down too early. I don't know.
Because you'll be on TikTok and then millennials will be posting their clubbing throwbacks.
The thing is, I don't think...
What do we have? We had Pilates.
No, she's got a point. Because how's your life going to change when you're in your 30s? When stereotypically you're probably going to get married, you're going to have kids. The club, it's not that the club's not seeing you. If you want the club to see you, that's your business. But so we don't have.
So you think, as a generation, we don't have spaces to socialize. We don't have places.
We have spaces, but we don't have spaces to look back on to say, "Oh my gosh, that was a time." We
like
just have abroad.
I can say we had a time.
We had a time, but like we're not good. We don't have that level of reminiscing. We're not gonna be able to do a 30-page TikTok of that outfit this time. Like no, probably like one every year.
But do you know what I also want to say about the whole abroad thing? I do think the whole abroad thing is marginalising, and it talks about the economy where priorities lie. You shouldn't have to go abroad to go clubbing.
The thing, like.
That's not. I can't like. You should be able to just go to a club
if without going to a club, you had nothing to reminisce on. To be honest, the problem is not society. The problem is like I don't know. I actually don't know what it is to replace it, but that doesn't make sense to me. Like, there has to be something. I don't know what, but
I look at some of my cousins. Yeah, they had a time. They were going to raves. They were going to this. I'm very much enjoying my life right now. But what I'm saying is, now they're in their 30s or they're going into their late 20s, going into their 30s. I highly doubt there's anything they're going to reminisce on. Personally, I don't think that I'm going to reminisce on. But it's not about me. I'm talking about the wider generation.
Yeah, it's more, yeah.
You know, when we were younger, how we wanted to grow up quick so bad, yeah. And then you grew up and now you're paying bills and you look like bread.
No, but
That's what I think. I fear it's gonna be like. In a
it's
way
more like it's not even like okay, cool. I'm going out is what defines litness. No, it's the fact that when we're in our 30s, it's just be the same thing. It just feels repetitive.
Another thing. Okay,
it's not a new stage. It's just the same stage.
But I feel like
23.
23. That's each their own. Because me personally, I also want to be a young mum. I want to be a mum.
honest,
But you have to pinpoint anyone who the idolization of Nara Smith. Let's just say you idolize. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
That in itself, it's not
and
dangerous.
That's why I said like the
shift
shift to conservatism is crazy, because the reason Nara Smith has a platform, the reason she has so many followers is because she's selling a dream. And if the dream is to be a fully domesticated mum, stepmom, chef for your husband at 23,
that's insane. Well,
that's
Kylie,
crazy.
Back then, when
crazy.
Kylie Jenner what King Kylie? Do you remember King Kylie?
Yeah.
She was in that club. She had Cartier wristbands.
Yeah.
She was wearing her red and she was what people
aspire to now and then is completely different.
And I'm not
it's
saying
true.
that we're gonna.
And argue if you're liberal or conservative, you'll say which era is better. But I think neither era was right.
But can I just say as well though, maybe like, okay, cool. We're saying we'll get to our 30s and look back and be confused. That's because
not
for
even
them,
confused, but it's not. There's nothing like
reminisce on. Okay, cool. Because that's how the other generation did it. But I do think we're seeing in our generation, or people that are like getting to 30s now that they have money and they feel secure, now they're living up. Dubai, yacht, whatever. So they're just replacing the 20s with their 30s.
But what we talked about fast money, our generation are not hearing that. Fast money, we don't want to. We're not down for this whole slow grind. That's why the hustle culture is very dangerous right now. It is, I want to get it now. Guys in their 20s want penthouses, they want Chanel, they want Birkins. That's not normal.
Back in the day, the reason why they were clubbing is because it cost them £10-15 and they had a good time. They weren't trying to save up to go Maldives. Guys were going on their first group holiday at the end of uni. It's the end of secondary, end of sixth form. Where we going?
Even if these 2008 people that you're talking about, these peoples were in at least their to be the guys
getting their first wigs. They were getting their first wigs with SFE.
I don't think the guys of Wall Street were getting wigs.
No wigs. I'm talking about like I'm talking about the normal people, like the girls. Yeah. They were getting their first wigs with SFE.
People are 18 and they want raw hair. I'm just trying to say people are not waiting.
16. Yeah. Starting sixth form. I saw a girl get ready with me to start sixth form. She's getting Longchamp. She's getting raw virgin bundle. She's getting her and there's nothing wrong with that. Go sis, because we love younger girls over here. But people weren't doing that back in the day. That's all stuff ending uni.Maybe if your SFE was sweet enough, you will get that. Yeah. But that was nothing you were doing in education.
And that's what I'm saying. I know you're saying that the 30s are enjoying now, but I'm saying that they don't. The issue is the 20-year-olds don't want to enjoy in their 30s.
They want to enjoy now.
And that's why they're hustling so young. That's why you'll see 18-year-old boys, they're trading, they're doing crypto, they're trying to make it out, bro. Finish uni.
And then that's why the club feels like fruitless and it's a waste because it's why am I in the club when I could have motion?
So we basically lost our 20s. We has decided we don't have time. We don't have time to relax and be free. And F it up and whatever. We don't have time for it.
Yeah, and that's why it's not a bad thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't think that's even our fault, because the reason we don't have time is because we can't go to club for £10. The reason we don't have time is because we can't get a yard. There's no more house parties. Why? No one has a house. So we feel like we don't have time to go into the club and relax, because how can you relax with this cost of living? How can you relax when a 1-bed flat in London is costing you 2k a month?
And
relax where?
It's as big as this pizza box.
You have a toilet, you have a bathroom, and maybe you have one window.
Maybe you tell them how you went to go to a place that you thought was £300 a month.
Relax where? Guys, God, I go to university in London. My school commute is like an hour and a half. Why? Because London is ridiculous.
How much did you get for your deposit when you lived out?
Right. Okay,
we need an episode about Grafton Road Diaries.
Guys, we're going to talk about renting diaries.
We're going to do renting diaries, maybe next week or something, because that is not even funny, to be honest.
Yeah, let's do it next week.
It's not even funny.
But I think linking back to why, again, like we were trying to say before, it's a good thing that everyone's motivated and career driven.
I don't think it is.
Wasting. No. I'm trying to say, I'm not saying wholeheartedly it's good or bad, but it's not a problem that people just don't want to go to club anymore. I'm saying the problem is that we're doing the 30s now. Because when we get to the 30s, it's going to feel fruitless. And you know what? Some people are going to get bored.
People are going to get bored. I don't have a house. I don't do dinner parties. No, I'm
not saying we're doing it well. I'm saying we're imitating it.
That means you're not getting the.
I'm saying the problem is we're imitating it.
I get that point, but I'm just trying to say that's why people how do I put it? You're imitating it now, but then you will really be able to do it. So you're not. So it's. What I'm trying to say. So it's like your 20s. You're imitating it. You're going to Paris on one weekend with the money. You say that you're really trying to live it out, whatever. You're having fun. You're doing the small things you can. You're saving your money to go Bali, whatever. By the time your 30s reach, saving to say like, what are you doing? You're taking women's and the kids to thing. It's a calm thing. Like it's different. We're not there. We're imitating it, and that's the point. The beauty in the struggle. The beauty in the.
To me, that's what Drake said.
Continue.
Should we go studio? Bet. Sorry, I want to. You know that TikTok I sent you last night? The girl saying she's 23 and she's content with where she is.
That's what I'm. That's the mentality. Okay, we'll put the video here.
Keep it real with you guys. I don't think it's that fucking serious to try and peak in your 20s. I am 23 and I can happily and confidently say that I have done absolutely nothing remarkable with my life because I simply do not have the network, the stability, the understanding, the comprehension, the appreciation, the sense of self, the personality, did I say that? The attitude, did I say that? The emotional breadth or depth to be able to deal with any upwards mobility in my life right now.
That's a really good video.
And I think that while that might be a bit far for me personally, I think she's getting to a real point. The whole point, when people say your 20s, like the whole point of it is supposed to you're figuring yourself out.
You
can kind of bum it out. But our generation, because we're seeing how peak the world is, we don't even feel like we can bum it out. Everyone's stressed. Though? You're 60 years old, you're doing Shopify Bro, just sit down for 1 minute.
Do you think it's a culture thing? Because
culture, like a generation thing.
In a way, I think, like you said, class is very important when we talk about all things, right? Because I know some guys who don't have. I mean, we know people who are. It's not about race. This is about class. We know people who don't
very
never
British
had a job.
Thing, class.
Say again.
They've never had a job.
Yeah.
They're not hustling. For them, it's just they're just doing the normal thing. Once they get a job, okay. Even though the jobs they're getting are very high attaining good jobs, but the principle is they're calm. Do you know what I mean? When the time comes and when they're
it's like how you said when you started your job before, and all the people there were just kind of like they were doing some performing arts, but they don't really go sometimes. Like
It's just very much like. In your 20s,
go with the wind
really
a bit more.
I
think it's easier to go with the wind when you know when the wind finishes carrying you, you have somewhere to land back. If you're in the wind and there's nothing at the end of that wind, you better just get out the wind, bro. Get out the wind. Get out the wind quickly.
I think they're referring to the whole like hustling culture and everything. That I think the reason why from the West, this is a shocking thing to us because I'm not gonna lie, hustle culture from a young age, I can't lie, for a lot of the world is a normal thing and they have to, especially for like the third world. Hustling culture at a young age is normal, and I think that really shows the devastation that we are in right now as Western economies, America, the US.
For us to be mirroring the third world
by
getting working. Sorry,
so bad.
16.
Can I say something?
But that's a normal.
That's normal.
That's normal. You're not talking about working, but let's talk about crypto. And you're gonna wonder, where am I going?
Yeah.
Even the desperation to hit big on crypto. No. Seriously, crypto, you can lose your money like this. Guys who don't even have up to 10k saved are gonna put all this money into coins in the idea to hope to make it. Why do you need to make it at 21?
Yeah.
Guys, when I do internship, there was this guy who's 65, he still hasn't retired yet. He has his retirement has gone. Even
people are seeing the lives that they don't want. They're seeing lives that they don't want, and they are hungry to put themselves in a situation that is nothing like that.
It can lead to jeopardy because I don't know.
That desperation is not healthy.
It's not healthy. Yeah, it's not healthy. Desperation when it comes to relationships, when it comes to money, all aspects of life.
There's a difference between like people are mixing their desperation with people who are genuinely passionate and driven. There is a big difference. So like everybody really wants to be in their like own space, like a space nobody can access. And I think again, it links to the economy once again. People want to be seen as different or accessing things everybody can't like reach. Because at the end of the day, everybody's becoming broke. No, but it's true. If you can afford to do this niche activity nobody has access to, is creating this idea again, not of wealth directly, but it's this idea of like untouchableness.
Sorry.
Linking to like Ozempic and all of that.
Off topic, just actually because of what I was speaking about just then, concerts. Concerts are also kind of becoming...
I've never been to a concert in my life.
Oh, really?
Really?
But I do think...
Actually, the only concert I went to was Kirk Franklin one.
Oh, that's good.
Anyway,
and the praise, festival of praise kind of.
Is that a concert? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Me and my friends are going to Klein Music, and I do think that I would rather go to something like that than go to a concert. Or like when people go
to a club.
Sorry, my bad. Yeah, the club, because there's just this feeling of I guess, unity. You're all there for the same purpose. I guess that's the kind of.
But
the
that's
same
what
thing.
the club used to be, and
But
that's
no
the
longer
argument we're
is.
making.
Yeah.
The club used to be like a just shared community, and now the only people going are people are like hardcore, maybe uni students, and that's why the club maybe has even gone down now because not like we are them, so
Did
no
you see
shade.
Sky News though? Like, by 2025,
Even uni students are not going.
Yeah,
clubs are shutting down everywhere. Clubs are shutting
by
down
2030.
in boatloads. Like the clubs are going shutting
Because
down.
it started
This
off
is
with
not-
the adults, and now it's a
this
trickle
is not
down
just
effect.
Like, are we having a conversation? This is genuinely like
It's
what's happening with
facts.
society. So, and I think that really does project what's happening in the economy. If you can't afford to have fun, even though we may not see it as the best,
And that's why fun is now linked to stuff that's seen as necessary or health-wise. Let's Pilates, run club, like all these ideas are fun.
So fun is now a necessity.
Yeah, like people are trying to find like eligible reasons to
but
have
productive
fun.
things.
Do you know what I mean? People don't want to spend money frivolously. Whatever your outlet is now has to be financially stable. Okay, cool. I'm spending money on Pilates, but at the end of the day, at least my health. Okay, cool. This is my outlet, but at least it's adding something to my life. Like people just don't want an outlet for outlet's sake, and that's what an outlet used to be. Just an outlet for outlet's sake. You shouldn't be doing anything fun just because, oh my gosh, it needs to have a reason. Something you just do just because. Just because. Like, especially when you're young, that's the whole point of when you're young, just because. But that's why I said we're adopting that older mindset of, no, when we do stuff now, it has to be from necessity. And that's sad, because like we said, with the blow with the wind with your 20s, you should be doing things just to do as the learning experience. But now, everything, shout out Paul Bridges, everything's a calculated move.
Oh my god.
Everything's a calculated move.
Do you think when you're 30, you're gonna be in the clubs?
But the thing is,
Wait,
I
sorry,
also think.
Killed me. You know when we were in Eden, and they shouted out "Happy 42th birthday." Me and Johan looked at each other like, "Uncle, you're not supposed to be here, brother." Instead of you to be building a foundation for you and your wife and your 3 kids. Maybe that's a backwards mindset.
But that's what the club used to be, though. It used to be those guys in the club.
42-year-olds were at the club.
Bro, think about
bankers that had 30k to spend on bottles. You think they were 20?
No, somewhere in their 20s.
They were coming off. So Tamisha doesn't know the club.
Somewhere in their 20s.
The club used to be. That's why you have all the memes like my husband was in the club, like because it
was everybody.
I didn't say 30s. 42.
Tamisha, it's grown men at the strip clubs. That's how the affairs are happening. It's grown men.
I feel like the child in the middle of a divorce. Right?
Men are not that.
It was the grown men up in there that had 60k from their Wall Street job. They would go out to work in their suits.
No, a point again. When the Wall Street crash happened in 2008, Florida strippers took a hit because it was the middle-aged businessmen giving them money. Shout out to my A-level economics teacher.
That's why.
It was the perfect analogy.
That's the whole reason why it's not working. Because if the club is for children to do, then of course it's going to decline. Children ain't got no money.
And that's why the club is
up in there.
That's why the club is declining now, because it was left to the young people. In the 2020s, this decade that we're in now, the club was left to the young people because the older people had took a step out because the bills were too high, and the economy had crashed, and ever since then, people were climbing back to the top of the ladder, and the clubs were left for the people that are now meant to go because it's the rite of passage. And now we're even like, we don't even want this rite of passage. We want to do Pilates.
Exactly. So
and now that's why club culture is falling.
You're asking me, am I going to go?
Because it was upheld by those rich men.
Yeah.
Rich older men. Now they're gone. And then it was left to us, and we just left it to bleep. It's gone.
I don't know. I think, and this is the thing though, like, you know, this is just gonna have like a big effect. People aren't going to the club. Things like going out outfits, like.
But this is why I'm not trying to be funny. I know it probably sounds a bit ridiculous, and there's a lot of reasons why this is, but also our generation has one of the highest mental health crises. Everyone is stressed.
Yeah.
Everyone is. People can't have fun without feeling guilty, and that's a problem. Even today, I've been stressed.
That 22, the TikTok
yeah,
video.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Say that again, then, please, because I was gonna say we can link that again. Sorry.
Say what again?
Because I was gonna say that with what you're saying with the mental health, we can link it to how she said the mediocre in her 20s.
Wait, so what do you want me to do now?
Repeat the whole mental health thing, because it's gonna be long to edit.
Okay.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Links.
So I also think like that's why our generation has the highest like mental health crisis we've ever seen, because we cannot have fun without feeling guilty.
Everyone is stressed.
I can't go a day if I don't feel like I'm achieving something, then my day is actually ruined. I'm 20.
I'm wasting time.
I'm 20. Even today, all I've done today, I'm not gonna lie, is film this episode. And when I get home, I'm telling myself I have to do an application and something else. Because if I don't do it, my day has been wasted. I can't have a day where I come to campus and I meet my friends and I get food and I think that is a fake day. It's a wasted day, and I'm only 20.
Yeah.
I don't have kids to feed. I don't have a mortgage to pay. So why is it that at 20 years old I don't feel like I can have fun? And that's why people you have to remember, right? When the club was popping back then, we also had this thing that I learned about called like recession era pop, which I think was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because when the world went into crisis
or
went
music.
into crisis, all this Kesha music, TikTok, party rock anthem, all this Black Eyed Peas, like all this YOLO, the idea of YOLO. Why? Because the world is fried, so we're just gonna live it up.
You don't have to live it up. That's why it's 7 p.m. Friday. Like, why do you think the song is blowing though?
Today the
because
world is
that energy of, you know what?
Yeah.
Everything's down. It's 7 p.m. Friday. I might as well be happy because everything's so. That literally, like what you said, recession music, similar to the whole hemline thing. We're at the end and it's painful, so everyone's like, we might as well have fun. When the economy is settled, people can afford being sad because I'm sad. I have money now. You have to be happy also. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
And I just think that but the issue is, or the difference is, back then people were really rally behind all of that pop music and they'd all go to the club to hear it. Now, as much as you might make a couple of TikToks about it, to be honest, that's not funny. It's not like, YOLO, it's not funny. It's 5 minutes, but then nothing's funny because you're not jigging. Nothing's funny anymore. You can't go to the club and laugh about your poverty because, to be honest, it's not funny. So I just think that's the big difference, and it's why people are really suffering mentally, because this is no way to live. Like, I shouldn't be 20 and thinking, why have I not got 10k? Like, I've got 10k, guys.
And then again, even club culture again becomes exclusivity, and again all linking again to the economy. Again, the people that are affording to go to the club is your fave influencers and celebrities, because that's the life that they can maintain. Back in the day, you could go to the club and you see this top actor or this musician and people are mingling. That's why there's several girls back in the day that have stories of X, Y, Z, and nowadays you wouldn't believe them because you're like, why are you out? And you're just casually seeing those, because back in the day there wasn't that separation. Everyone could mingle, and that's why you go to, again, in economies where, like, cool, they've always had this struggle. Like, for example, when people go Dirty December, they're like, yeah, I was fighting with Wizkid, because they're so used to that. They didn't have that separation before. Like, everyone, if you went to the club, that was it. But now we're now having this separation of, like, only the top can go there. Because we're just gone to that desolateness now. It's separated. Like, do you know what I'm trying to say? We're getting to era where, like, not everyone's mingling together. And I'm even seeing TikToks about the lounge. Now you need to know someone to go to eat. Are you crazy? This is a lounge in Canning Town. No, you don't.
There was something else I was going to say.
I think about I don't know, about the mental health thing.
Yeah.
Listen to music without mental health. Oh, really?
I forgot what I was going to say.
The girl, the 20-year-old video.
Yeah, I think I'll just start speaking, and if you can edit in.
3, 2, 1.
I think there needs to be, you know how we talk about things like Black excellence, yeah? I think mediocrity is okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what we're deeming to be mediocre. I think it's okay to just be a 20-year-old who's just navigating their life. Like, I'm like, you see at jobs, and I know we do make jokes, you'll see on TikTok, I'm working the same job while this to like get shoes and go on holiday, whilst this person is like 30 or 35, they've got 2 kids, you know what I mean? And that is okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's where you see the difference in generation of people. For us, it's like, this is just a bus
stepping
stop.
stone.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I think is interesting? We are obviously in Britain, and I don't know, but I don't think they're having this issue in America.
Oh, they are.
Are they?
They are.
What is the issue? Like lack of
club culture dying.
Yeah,
they are having
I think they are.
But not the rate.
No, I think the rate is because we've always been very
stripping culture.
They have stripping culture, and also we've always had this class issue. Like, again, one of the biggest, not to talk about that topic, but one of the biggest issues in America is race. But in the UK, one of the biggest issues is the class divide, and the clubbing culture links to the class divide. The issue is we're having a bigger working class than ever before, and for those people that all made up the club were not just the middle class; they were the working class. But now clubbing is almost becoming a semi or middle class adjacent activity, because who has that time and money just to waste in the club?
That's what I was gonna say about, is it happening in America? Just from the perspective of, as well, in the UK, we're saying going working class, whatever. also, we're all children of immigrants. Our generation, I don't know about you, but most of my friends are children of immigrants.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and so naturally, we all have that mentality of we need to do
That's
what
what
our
we need
parents
to-
came here
yeah.
for. Whereas I don't
And
know
that
what's
links
going
to it
on, but
even more.
in America, their generation, that's not the mindset.
But they still
Do you know
have
what I'm
that
saying?
get out of the
Obviously, they
mud
still have that
mindset, though.
thing,
Still filming.
but
We still have that get out of the mud mindset. In America, sorry, they still have that get out of mud mindset.
No, but
though.
I think,
I
correct me if I'm wrong,
think
what Nobody's trying to say is they don't know where they're from. And
Yeah.
that's not their fault, right? In the sense that their parents were there, their grandparents were there.
But at the same time, there's still that drive, though. Just because your parents were there for
no,
like
but the
50
drive
years,
is,
it doesn't mean they have generational
but
wealth.
But I mean,
though.
it's not about generational wealth. The drive was there
This
in
is
2008.
yours.
The point is, like, the mindset, like the people wanted to make money in 2008 as well.
Yeah.
It's just more so that it's okay to also go to the, like, you can prioritize going to the club and spend that money
No,
as well.
but genuinely, I know
It's
what
not
you
a
guys
waste
think, but
kind of
I'm
thing.
saying that our edge comes from cool. We're immigrants, and we know where our parents have come from, and we're trying to do better. That is a drive in itself, but it's not. It's an equal. It can be the same amount of drive, but coming from a different place. Cool. Your family has been in the US for how many years? But so has the white people. But your family doesn't have generational wealth. You're on food stamps. Your grandma, like literally, but for years they've been struggling. That's even worse to know that your family has been here for years, but somebody else, his granddad, who has also been here for years, probably even migrated in the 60s, because Irish and Italians all migrated to the US as well, but still have more money than you and your family, who literally built that land. That's a different type of pain to know your great grandparents.
You're right.
No, because I can only imagine as a US person, imagine your great grandpa, because there's this amazing guy, I wish I remembered his name, but he works with celebrities to find their like ancestors on the like slave registry. You can literally, sometimes if you're lucky enough, you can trace the grind your ancestors had to do, and your family's still on shillings till this day. That's a different type of grind.
So, but what's that?
That's a different type of
culture.
No, I'm not talking about grind. I'm talking about why both in the UK and the US, young people can feel like, nah, it's not worth it. I need to grind. Their motivation can come from the fact of my family has been in poverty for generations.
I'm only saying that the reason why our decline is more rapid is because of that.
No, I think our decline is more rapid because we have a class-centric society where having more wealth has always been an issue, and when you're an immigrant, it's even worse. Like, it's another thing.
I think we haven't touched on how women feel when they go clubbing as well, and I think that's a big aspect. Ask Angela has become a thing that's, I think, kind of became.
Women don't feel safe.
I remember when I started working.
I don't think women ever felt safe, but no one cared.
I think it's gotten worse.
But
I think it's print works, like, and this is a big rave culture. Like, people getting spiked like crazy. I'm not saying spiking didn't exist back then, but it's become rife. I remember before we went into uni in Knots, that was when the first spiking thing happened, where you wouldn't even feel it getting pricked. It would just be in your system. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I think people want to feel safe when they go out. I mean, I think, to be honest, I think I'm just making a random correlation. Uber and Bolt and all them stuff, they're booming. Do you know what I mean? And they boom when people go clubbing. Why? People must feel safe. And this is another thing. And it shouldn't cost that much.
Can I just say as well, it adds up to the cost, and it takes away from the spontaneity of it.
Yeah.
You're just having a to walk in the streets, it's 2 a.m, you're 20, you're out on the street getting food. You just can't, we don't have.
Well, there was nowhere to go the next day. Now, there was a job to go to the next day, so you better run home.
Also, you know, in Manchester, I don't know if you guys seen on TikTok, where this guy will always be filming all the girls in like their pretty outfits.
Yeah.
I think there's more. I don't know what it is. I think more is we've been more. Yeah, maybe you're right. We now see that men are, with social media, the rife of the predatorial nature of a man.
That also links to, like, hypervigilance and social media. And again, back in the day, people didn't have phones in the club, and people are scared to be in the club.
Footprint is a very big thing.
People are scared to be in the club for digital footprint. They're also scared to be in the club of being seen as embarrassing on TikTok, and they're also scared because they don't feel physically safe. Like, there's actually so many layers of fear, and then you're also scared that you're going to be a bum because you haven't made money that day. Instead, you went to the club. The fear, anxiety is actually a lot.
I also think another thing, like, I guess. This is also reflecting into the economy as well, and like the whole Nara Smith, this clean girl aesthetic, this bougie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not bougie if you're in the mosh pit in the club. That's not cute to some.
I think it's the changing idea of what is it.
Yeah, that whole
Charlie's was the it girl. So you were bad if you just woke up. You were crazy. You were in the heels. You did not care. You were just in the.
You were that girl.
You were that girl. But now, if we're using Nara Smith as like the epitome of idolization. If it's Nara Smith has put
Ballerina Farm.
They put their kids in bed at 8 p.m. Yeah. People are saying, "Oh my god, I'm putting on my favorite podcast, #cheatday.diaries." You're lighting a candle and you're in bed. You've got a thing. Or even when people joke on TikTok, like, oh, someone cancelled plans, thank God. Do you know what I mean?
Back in the day, it used to be like, who's out? Let's do this.
When I was younger, are you joking
me
And I
anything,
think
I would want to go
I
out.
think that also really relates to what I was saying before about the mental health crisis. I don't know how or why, but our generation is tired.
Yeah.
We are exhausted. Everyone
That
is
woman,
tired.
the children are tired, the anxiety. Auntie knew how we were feeling.
Bro,
We are.
How are we 20 and you're happy that your friend cancelled plans because you want to sleep?
Tired.
Sleep.
And I'm
Like
20.
this is leading to the rise in depression, anxiety. People can't live no more. People cannot afford to
And that's why,
live.
again, like we
people
said,
are nurses. And it's not that people are not working hard. People are going to uni. People are getting a degree. They're going to the NHS.
people have been doing this for years before. So
to be
what's
given
happening?
£10 an hour. Back in the day, that £10 an hour could have bought you a house. And today, you're being told you can't even rent privately.
You can't even go to the showroom.
So it just doesn't really work. It doesn't really work.
And like we said again, like linking back this whole thing together to club culture and why it's dying, everything has to be worth it. Again, it's not just because we think we look cute in smart wear and being traditional. It's not just because we think we look cute in smart wear. Now we've done the smart wear, we can wear it to work, we can wear it to fancy, we can wear it everywhere. It's that cost efficient nature.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Something. I don't know how many minutes we got, but on that thing that we've just said, things like brunch, like those type of things are coming in now, and there's a reason for that.
And not dinner, because brunch is lunch deals between 12 to 3 p.m. You can get a lunch deal at your favorite restaurant. It's true though.
That's basically what I was saying.
Mayfair restaurants are creating those sample menus where you get a taste of whatever restaurant it is, because they're clocking onto the economy. They're clocking onto those are little things, like they say, those are the signs. If top bougie restaurants before that even have to beg anybody to even step in are now catering towards people that's showing you all you need to know.
Actually, on that, and the same thing in the economy is happening with designers. Look, Orans are £550. I think they've got up to £600. That's the cheapest thing you can get in Hermes, right? LV, they have the little nano speedy bag. That's 1.1. I'm not saying that anyone can save that, but people can save that. The thing is, from when luxury brands start catering to the poor, you know the economy's finished.
You know it's finished.
No, it's true. You look
Yeah,
at
people
in China
literally don't have money anymore.
The highest rates of millionaires, they spent 22 to 23%.
People don't have money no more, and it's frustrating. Teachers are out here. Sorry, I was on an agency shift once when I used to do, what was it? I didn't even know what agency it was. And one of the people I was working with is a full-time teacher on the weekend doing agency job. Why? Because there is no money. You can go to the club and you can't eat food. Nurses are using food banks. Like, society doesn't make sense right now. It actually doesn't make sense.
And you're even talking about the people who they weren't earning extreme money to begin with. Even the high income earners, there's a reason why these brands are catering towards poorer people, because they can't afford to splash out on them luxuries. LVMH, even Hermes, their stocks have been down this year. Finished, third quarter, finished, guys. And there's a reason why.
And that's why everyone wants to hustle, because back then, you know how everyone's always like, oh, you can't get rich from being an employee, you need to be a businessman, you need to be an entrepreneur. Back then you could be rich as an employee, then more people were rich, then people, and even if you weren't rich,
about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
even if you weren't rich, you could still live. You didn't have to be rich to buy a house, you didn't have to be rich to eat food. Today you actually have to, last time I checked, you need to be rich. You need to actually be rich to live it, like to live a good life.
Okay, I'll answer the question.
Okay, no you don't.
How much money?
No, you don't.
Like, and let's just keep this. Just answer the question.
To live in London.
To live in London. Let me listen. Go on 3 holidays a year.
What, to Cornwall or what?
That's what. Okay.
Because
3 holidays a year. 1 in Europe.
Okay.
1 out of the continent, and
one
like
staycation.
A staycation.
Okay.
No, wait, my more question is, because I know what you're trying to say.
I'm cutting this out. But
I'm saying this is not a good question to live comfortably though. I feel like the average, even
she's not doing live comfortably. She's just doing how to live this life.
You have 25 days annual leave.
I mean, just answer the question. Okay, how much do you guys think that you need to live comfortably in London? Yeah, it's gone 3 holidays a year. Let's just assume for the sake of the answer, it's a staycation, 1 in Europe and 1 abroad. Yeah, and you have a car, and let's just say you're renting, because to get on the property market is a different ball game in itself. You go first.
Yearly or monthly?
Yearly.
Okay, 50k.
Am I living by myself?
Oh, okay. You're sharing with someone. Does that change your answer? 50k, because that's even better. 50k. Okay.
3 holidays a year, 1 outside of Europe. What? No. And renting. No. No. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
My dear.
Sorry. I think, as in not to have financial stress.
My dear,
okay.
figure.
65?
Okay, guys. To be honest, I don't think you guys are fucking. I don't think the economy is that finished if you think that then.
Because I'm comparing myself, not to say so much about my life, I put myself back in first year when I was renting. Because if you're doing a flat share, low key, you would actually end up being that same price I was paying. Anyway, but like if you're doing a flat share, I went on holiday. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm thinking about job. And like if I'm adding all the different streams of income I had at the time,
Okay.
Nah.
I feel like you can do that on 50K. No, but I'm saying is that all those streams of income was below that.
No.
And I was still able to do that. Check the facts of how many trips I went. Do you know what I'm saying?
But you don't have real responsibilities right now.
No, but I'm saying that's what I'm trying to say. I had way less than that, so I'm thinking if there was more responsibilities, if I'm doing the ratio, you could do that on 50K.
I don't agree.
Because if I'm doing half
because also student renting isn't. I've been looking at real London renting, and that shit is a
real
joke.
London renting, though.
The answer to the question, in my opinion,
I'm talking about real London renting flat share, which is sad because flat share should be under 1K. But now
no, but you said to live comfortably. And sorry, but that's not my in my answer of comfortability.
To go on those 3 holidays a year,
I think at least 70 at this point.
One in Europe,
the hell?
And one abroad. Like,
and you didn't say to struggle to do it. You said to do it comfortably, right? So
my answer would be 80K in my opinion.
Because you can do anything on a budget, but we're not talking about budgeting things.
Exactly.